Welcome to the DFO Rundown podcast with Frank Seravalli and Jason Gregor on dailyfaceoff.com. Delivered by DoorDash.
Our next guest has his name etched on the Stanley Cup 3 times. He's also a 3-time Selke Trophy winner and a 2019 inductee into the Hockey Hall of Fame. The DFO Rundown is pleased to welcome Guy Carbonneau. Guy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, great to have you alongside. And wanted to start by asking about 3 Ice, your new endeavor that you're involved in. Inaugural weekend on tap this weekend in Vegas. There are 2 stops in Canada throughout this 9-week tour, 3-on-3 hockey. It's basically overtime hockey all the time. How'd you get involved, and what's your excitement level for being part of it?
Well, the level is really high. I think it started 3 years ago when Craig and EJ started to put this story together. I think he was looking for coaches, and I think everybody was kind of a little bit nervous at the beginning because nobody really knew what was going to happen and how far they were willing to go. But I think, obviously COVID kind of delayed everything for about 2 years. But last month, everybody was in Vegas for a little mini camp to see what kind of players that we had, what the format would be looking at, what we'd be looking at. And I think everybody was just really excited. I was kind of blown away. I think everybody kind of saw what 3-on-3 is in the NHL and the American League and junior. I think everybody at one point in their career kind of played a little bit of their 3-on-3. But this is like a different format, having just 2 periods of 8 minutes. It's pretty quick. I was pretty impressed with all the players that were there kind of brought in. Some of the guys had the chance to skate often, but some of the guys didn't have that chance, obviously, with what happened the last 2 years. But I think now everybody's ready. Everybody's kind of waiting for, Saturday to start, and everybody's really excited. I think it's going to be an awesome event every weekend. I think more and more, every week we'll see a little change because I think we're all the same. I think, coaches and players have an idea what's going to happen, but, strategies wise, I think we'll change it every week because we'll see and decide on different things. So I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, and it's really cool for the players too. They obviously have some skin in the game. The more success you have, the more money you end up putting in your pocket. But you mentioned strategy, and I wanted to ask you about just the coaching aspect of it and being connected with, a few other guys that are also members of the Hockey Hall of Fame, distinguished careers in their own right. How much actual coaching will be done in the 3 Ice?
Well, I think, I think there will be some coaching, but like I said, I think the first week or 2 weeks will be in the air. I think we all have what we want on the ice. I think most of the coaches drafted a couple of defensemen, some forwards with speed. There's maybe, you definitely you want a goalie that can move the puck and be able to play the puck. I think that's going to be important, but, as it goes, we'll see plays that maybe works and some that don't work, and then we'll kind of work on those things. But like I said, like you said, at the start, I think it's more to get the guys motivated and willing to kind of put the effort every game.
I hear 3 Ice, 3-on-3, and I'm thinking offense all the time, right? Nonstop back and forth. And then I hear Guy Carbonneau, and I go, hold up, 3-time Selke winner? Is he going to stand for a lot of back and forth, not a lot of defense? Can you see the itch to get some structure and defense into your team's game, playing into things maybe a little bit earlier than expected?
Well, I won 3 Selkies, but in junior I had 182 points, and in the American League I was in the top 10 in scoring the last 2 years that I played there. So it's not like I didn't have any offense, and I don't believe in offense. I think I do, but like in every structure, you're gonna have to play. On 16 minutes of game time, you're not gonna have the puck on your stick all the time. So there's little things that you can help the players. Positioning, obviously, like I said earlier, goalies is going to be a huge part of it because they're going to be involved a lot. stopping the puck and then playing the puck after goals or after a stop. So those things I think I could bring.
Switching gears a little bit to the Stanley Cup final we're seeing this year in the NHL. What have been your impressions of Game 1? It was a wild Game 1. What have you thought about the juggernaut matchup between the Lightning and the Avs?
Well, if you go back to maybe, a bunch of weeks and when the playoffs started, what's amazing now, I think, and it comes with the format that the NHL decide. In my days, if you were the best team in the NHL, you used to play the 16 teams, which gives you a little advantage to keep going in the playoffs. Now, the way that the format is, in the first round, you can play some really, really, really good teams and be knocked out. And then we saw that again this year, but like the excitement is right there. I think if you ask most of the people that follow hockey, Tampa Bay and Colorado, and Colorado would probably be in the final. On the other side, everybody had Tampa or Florida, but they're two really, really good teams. One, wants to make an impression. The other wants to make a third Stanley Cup, which is unbelievable at this age.
Guy, being back behind the bench again, you were head coach of the Montreal Canadiens for 3 seasons. Do you miss coaching? Do you get the itch at all?
I do. I think nothing. I think playing, for almost 20 years was not easy. Coaching is not easy. It doesn't get any easier now because of they make more money, which is good. But there's a lot of pressure from the GMs and the owners now. Everybody wants to win. Everybody's getting paid a lot of money. They're long hours. Those, showing to the rink and looking at the tapes and trying to figure out, strategies to win the game. That's the part I miss. The interaction with the players every day. But I'm quite happy with the life I have now. I have a chance to stay connected with RDS, watching hockey games, working on a little bit on TV. But I've said this all along. If somebody would call, I would definitely listen.
So Guy, when you're not in front of the camera on RDS, how do you fill your days?
Obviously in the summer, I'm a golfer, so I play a lot of golf. I just bought a property in Florida, so in the winter I'm going to spend a couple weeks a month there, trying to get prepared for my retirement, which I hopefully it's not coming soon. But no, I think I enjoy still watching hockey games and talk about it on TV. So, and we do some of the promotions. I once in a while I go to the Bell Center, watch Canadian play different teams. So trying to stay busy.
You mentioned getting a chance, the itch to kind of coach again in prep and things like that. Has getting a chance to do this in a totally different way with 3 Ice, has that sort of reignited the love for it even more, maybe because it's just so much different than maybe a traditional coaching job?
Well, definitely. I think everybody was, like I said earlier, like when EJ and Craig called about 3 years ago, like everybody was kind of, was waiting to see where this thing was going to go. I think everybody's excited. Like I said, we met all together. We talked to each other on Zoom, but, never had a chance really to kind of get together and talk about, but I think everybody was excited in Vegas. When we saw, because we did like a recreation of the format that we're going to have. So, 6 teams, everybody's playing and then keep going. And everybody saw the potential of these things. So everybody's kind of excited. Like we all, Brian Trottier was behind the bench at one point. Joe Mullen was behind the bench, but John Leclerc and Grant Fuhr and Larry Murphy were not. So, to some of those guys, it's a different challenge, but everybody's excited.
I meant to ask this earlier, but what was the draft process like for all of this? Was it a straight up, everyone sat in a room with a list and did their thing? Who was your first overall pick? Take us through that.
Like I said, like the first day we showed up there's probably around 50 to 60 players that came to Vegas. So they had a chance to go on the ice and kind of warm up a little bit and try different things and just kind of have a feel. And then the next day, Craig and EJ made 6 teams of 6 players and 1 goalie. And we each had to coach one. And then we went through the process. So we had the 3 games, with 6 teams. The 3 winners kept going with the team that scored the most goals, and then just kept going to see how the format would look. And I think everybody was kind of impressed. We were able to take notes on, on players and things like that. And then the next morning, just the coaches and EJ and Craig and the people in the room, we had a draw. I was the first pick, and I picked Evan Palusha. So, we had Aaron in Montreal years ago, and I know he's excited to play in this league. I know he can play. He's fast and he can score. And I think everybody kind of, most of the guys that we had a chance to see, some of them we didn't. Aaron wasn't there, so I kind of went on reputation. But everybody had their ideas of how they wanted to build a team, and now we just have to kind of make them perform every weekend.
There are also some really cool connections. I saw Joe Mullen will have a chance to coach his son Patrick, which will be fun. Guy, I wanted to ask, there's 9 weekends, 9 Saturday nights, and it's in 8 different cities. Starts in Vegas, ends in Vegas. Along the way, you'll get to Denver, Grand Rapids, Hershey, London, Ontario on July 16th, Pittsburgh, Quebec City, Nashville, and back to Vegas. So of those stops, where are you most excited?
I think it's going to be Quebec. Obviously, Quebec, London. I know we have all the games on TV. Hopefully, most of the rinks that we're going to play, they're going to have a chance to fill it out. I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it does, because it gets the players on the ice excited, and the people that put a lot of work into it excited. So I think every week, once people see the product on the ice, we'll start filling up. But obviously, London, Ontario, and Quebec City, they're hockey cities. So I'm sure it's going to be popular, and it's closer here from Montreal. So those are the 2 cities. But starting in Vegas and finishing in Vegas is not that bad either.
No, that's pretty good. Wanted to ask you where you think this is heading. Like, I think, when we see the Stanley Cup awarded in most of the time early to mid-June, there's a lot of time in the summer before, the season gets going again. And it feels like there was a natural spot for hockey to be played, especially on the weekends, and something a little bit less formal with something like 3 Ice. Where do you see this product going in the next, 3 to 5 years?
I see it growing. I think it's going to be, I think the project that we're going to put on the ice this summer, obviously, few things happened. COVID, the season in Europe had to be extended. So there's a few guys there that, would love to come and play for us that didn't have that chance. I think in the future, we won't have those restrictions. I see, it's like you said, it's 9 weekends. It's no contact. I see a lot of the guys that finish their career in the NHL being 34, 35, 36, and 37, and jumping into our league in the summer just for the fun of it. And hopefully keeps growing in Europe. I have a league there that they can do the same thing there. And possibilities is endless. I think you just got to enjoy those 9 weekends and make the best of it.
Well, speaking of fun, we wrap up all of our interviews with a little bit of rapid fire. You don't have to be long with your answers, but you do have to answer them. That is the one rule. So starting off with a little bit about your career, one word that best describes the emotions you feel the first time you lift the Stanley Cup.
A lot of emotion. Just because as a kid, you grow up and everybody's been playing outside or outdoor rink, trying to play for the Stanley Cup and scoring a goal in the Stanley Cup. So I think that was, and for the families, it's a lot of traveling and things like that. So a lot of emotion.
Out of the 365 days of the year, how many of them are you wearing a Stanley Cup ring on your finger?
Oh my God. Probably 10 to 15 times.
Of all the teammates you had in your playing career, which one would be the best 3-ice player?
Mike Modano.
That's a good one. Of all the players you coached in the NHL, if you could add one to your 3-ice roster right now in their current condition, who would you add?
Coaching? Coach.
Yeah, of all the players you coached in the NHL, who would you add?
Coach. Alex Kovalev.
That's a good pick too. And last one for you. When Team Carbonneau picks up a big win at 3-ice this summer, you head back to the hotel. What's going to be the celebratory drink of choice?
Coors Light.
Coors Light. Okay, another solid answer. A run of solid answers. Guy, thanks for your time today. Really appreciate it. And we're really excited to see what 3-ice has going on this summer.
Can't wait either. Thank you, sir.